Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to Penny for a Tale, tonight's episode of Fableforge Hearts of Shadow. It's exciting to be here on this new channel. Thank you, Mitch, and all the Penny for a Tale people for bringing us over. Really nerve-wracking, actually, to leave my own channel. So here we are. It's cool. I like it.
Welcome to the jungle.
The nerves will fade, I'm sure. Until then, bear with me. For tonight, we're going to have a little bit slightly extended introduction because we're on a new channel and everything. And I'm going to kickstart that by doing another round of player introductions so that we have that on this channel. And then I'll spend a little more time catching everybody up to speed, and then we'll jump into tonight's session. So with that being said, me, Joseph Kahrs, I'm the DM, aka ForgeMaster for Fableforge, our shows. I've been doing this for a little while, a couple years now, and this is literally the only place that you can find me on Twitch, and my handle is @JosephKahrs on Twitter. You can probably find it through all the social good stuff, but I'm really unimpressive. So I'm going to kick on over to our awesome players, and I'm going to go left to right on my screen. So Sammy, go ahead.
Hi, I am Sammy Ferber, @SammyFerber on all socials. I am a professional actor, and I am a DM of my own game on Drachma and Demigods on Twitch. And in this game, I play Seraia, the half-elven wild magic sorcerer. She's very pale, she's very young, she's very thin, and has a very complicated relationship with her magic.
All right. Well, thank you, Sammy. Lexi, go ahead.
All right. Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm at LexiMonsterTV on Twitter and Instagram, and on Twitch, I'm just LexiMonster. In this campaign, I play Lorelai, the Drow Circle of the Moon druid. She is very quiet, and I would like to say graceful, but also kind of awkward, and she's just doing her best.
Awesome. Shaybs.
Hi, I'm Fara, or Shaybsy_shark on pretty much all socials, which is just Twitter and Twitch at this point. I have been playing D&D fluidly and consistently for about 4 years now, but I've played D&D for a total of about 5.5, 6 years. This is my first live stream campaign that I'm a part of, which is really cool. I play Elbrion, or Brian, in this campaign, a kind of socially awkward, culturally inept young man who is slightly mysterious, but not in a curious way, more like in a he's just kind of there way, and he's a part of this party to tell the stories of their adventures and see if he can manage new friends, and if not, well, he tried.
Thank you. Julia?
I'm Julia. I'm a mom. I'm an accountant. I'm a wife. I've been playing D&D for probably a little over 6 years now, off and on. My husband plays in Joey's other campaign on Thursday nights. And I play Morgan, who is a ranger. She's very self-assured and confident and very competitive. And her life is like a game of Survivor, and she's always willing to make new alliances or flip to the other side when it suits her.
Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Mitch.
Hey, I am Mitchell, also known as Penny for a Tale on all the social medias where they can be found. You can also find me on Gehenna Gaming, Onyx Path, Twitch channels, as well as Weave the Tale, and of course here, and a couple other channels. The biggest thing I have going on is my Kickstarter for my own TTRPG, Necropunk, is coming out May 12th. The email notification will be going out hopefully by tomorrow. When Kickstarter is done reviewing it. But yeah, super excited for that, among other things. So definitely keep your eyes out on the Twitter to keep yourself updated.
Thank you, Mitch. All right, so a little bit about the campaign real quick. For all those uninformed, This is my take on the Rise of the Drow campaign put out by Arcanum Worlds. It's kind of the way I'm displaying it. It's kind of darker, kind of grittier. As far as the table goes, we are using 5e, as I'm sure you may have guessed or heard, but there are some home rules involved, so, you know, please don't do that whole chat thing where you're correcting people or second guessing their decisions, or that's not how that works. Sometimes that is how it works, at least for our table. There isn't too much of it though, so hopefully everybody will be able to keep up. The purpose of this campaign should be, as long as the party does well and the world isn't too vicious, the party should go from 0 all the way to 20 and have a lot of fun and face some very nefarious things and people along the way. So, now, to catch us up, everybody except for Morgan all came together in the village of Rubalka. In your various past histories as characters and the things you've done, you found your way here, all in pursuit, except for Sofiane, of a mysterious relic, something about the moon shard. Not knowing much about it and all pursuing it for your own purposes. The village that evening had a ceremony, an annual ceremony, to ensure that the light follows the dark, that they are protected for another year. It is held on the winter solstice. And the ceremony itself was corrupted, with the high priest and many of the villagers attacked. The cathedral ended up being burned down, and many of the villagers were abducted by these invaders, these assaulters. Surviving the attack and helping the people as much as you could, you all came together and met with the mayor, Mayor Igor, and he implored you to help find the missing villagers, otherwise Rubalka wouldn't have enough people to even survive the winter, and everything and everyone would be scattered if not dead. And so, being the amazing heroes you are, and also discovering or suspecting that the moon shard had been abducted during this attack, you decided to pursue the villagers through the dark wood to save them and find out more about this relic. Over the course of several days, you traveled under the guise of Nerenaeus' shadow, which blocked out all sunlight. The environment was pitch black, the snow was falling, the wind was biting. The Darkwood itself had this malevolent influence pressed upon it, which somewhat infected each of you along the way. Fighting corrupted beasts and strange humanoids, meeting peculiar entities such as twisted dryads, ancient treants, frost giants, a frost giant skeleton, a myriad of other dangers along the way. Eventually, you were able to come out the other side, face to face with a group of drow and undead, trying to bar your way to Adric's Folly, which is the best place you assumed the villagers would be. Engaging in epic combat with them, you were victorious and stared down upon the field in front of you, Adric's Folly in the distance, with the backdrop of the finally rising sun. Making your way down to the Chapel of Flaceros, a small building and cemetery that was about a quarter mile from Adric's Folly, you met a strange dwarven female by the name of Alexandra Galican. She asked for you to help find her husband, who also had been abducted by apparently the same people that assaulted Rubalka. And then you made your way down into a secret passage with the help of the dead spirits whispering to Seraia. Down in the crypt, Brian was first encountered by a malevolent spirit and a guardian of this crypt and secret passage, a remnant of the decades ago where the dwarven miners created the secret passage in Adric's Folly in case the fortress was ever assaulted to give them an escape route. Attempting to barter a deal with this malevolent spirit, he wished to take over the body of Alexandria Galican herself in order to escape and live once more. Sofiane was having none of that, and so jumped down into the pit, and Seraia as well, and attacked this creature. Along the way, Morgan, you and your band of Vicmordir mercenaries who are guarding this passage for the drow group that seems to have invaded the upper world in this area and was the mastermind behind all of these attacks, heard the scuffle, joined the encounter, and fought on the side of our party. This threat defeated, you exchanged information. Morgan turned on her Vicmordir mercenary subservient individuals and decided to team up with you all to save the villagers, give you information for her own ends. After a long rest and some discussion about how to proceed, Morgan and Lorelai, you snuck back into Adric's Folly, Lorelai in the guise of a small spider on Morgan's shoulder. You found out where the villagers were, seemed to know what the best path forward would be, and had this loose plan to intentionally be captured, with Morgan keeping your weapons and Lorelai also sucking them up into her wild-shaped form, where you would be intentionally captured by the villagers and then wait for a chance to either spring them or escape from the folly, or maybe go along with the final caravan coming to pick them up off to wherever they're supposed to go. It's kind of fluid, but you ended up coming back up to Adric's Folly in the end of the secret passage. Seraia, unconscious because of internet issues, being carried by Sofiane, Morgan pressed open the secret door to the secret passage and came face to face with the mercenary captain of the Vicmordia mercenaries, Eric Splitaxe. And that's where we ended last session. Before we jump in, I'm going to give you all a minute to chat and catch up and maybe form a quick plan as to how to react to this. A, because I love you, and B, because I have a 6-year-old who really needs my attention right now. So, y'all chat for 1 minute and I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, I think we're good. Yeah.
Yep,
So,
that's the game.
we're fine.
As someone who was blinking in and out of the ethereal plane last session, so our plan is just to be imprisoned with the prisoners, and then once we're on the inside, we'll figure out exactly how to free everybody. Yes, that's the
If we
plan.
become prisoners ourselves and we save ourselves, we are fulfilling the mission, and thus we get the house and go back home.
Yes, we are essentially getting ourselves, or you're getting yourselves captured to go talk to the villagers, and maybe we'll stage a coup from the inside. Maybe we'll just go along with the caravan, but
Great.
Morgan's our way in.
We're just a bunch of cooers.
And I'm just a spider in her hair right now.
Yeah,
We're the cutest.
we the cutest.
Oh no.
Yeah, I like it. You should
Shaybs, I thought you would
probably
love that.
kill that spider that's on your head.
No.
It's
I
bad.
live by the
It'll lay
code name
eggs.
rules. Everything's a stretch. Yeah, that's pretty much the plan. I believe I will assume that DM will agree, but like we're talking about all the things that we would have given Lorelai and or Morgan. And since Sammy is here and has his inventory list for Seraia, then he gave us
Yes,
the list of things that we would have, within reason, the most important things.
You guys would have been able to pull out the spell scrolls that Seraia was holding, the seeker dart, the drift globe, that kind of stuff, along with like, my crossbow and that
We
kind of stuff.
stuffed them into Lorelai.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Get in there.
Then we
Okay.
put Morgan's strap thing on, and then all the weapons just disappear.
We have a bag of holding, a spider. We have a spider of holding, and then boobs of holding.
We have the binders of holding. No.
I think Sofiane might get some.
I think that'd be a good look, and very, very on brand for Sofiane.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so the only thing I would note about this is whatever y'all were able to come up with, because I like this plan, it's fun, I want to see what happens. Whatever y'all were able to get Lorelai to successfully hold, or Morgan to successfully hide outside of her own equipment, that's fine. I'm good with it if it makes sense, because I trust you all. That being said, if they don't have it, you don't have it, because you left it, I'm assuming, in the crypt. You hid it in the crypt, or maybe up at the chapel.
Also, I'd like to
Tombs.
put a dagger.
Up your butt?
Yeah. For safekeeping. So I am going to.
Are you
Is that
gonna
at least
holster it
cheese?
first?
Welcome to
Obviously,
Penny for a Tale, guys. Thank you
going
guys
to be-
so much for joining us.
it's going
Obviously,
to be
it's hilt up, okay?
Yeah.
He's gonna stab people with his butt like a bee.
They'll never see it coming. It'll
Okay.
be a disaster.
Present arms!
I'm good with that, but
Sofiane.
okay, so daggers typically are what, like, I don't know, 4 to 6 inches in length, right?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
with my acrobatics check, I might be able to get a 6-incher.
I think,
In
okay,
comparison to the mayor.
I would say given enough motivation and resolve, you could theoretically get that in there. I'm not going to take that from you, but I will ask for this. I'm going to need a Constitution check once per day to see if you're noticeably walking funny.
Yeah. No, I'm totally cool with that. Yeah, so he goes
every 3 hours or something.
I mean, y'all aren't normal people. Y'all are heroes. So I'm assuming a hero can hold a dagger in their rectum longer than an everyday person.
Like if I can do it, Sofiane can do it. Okay, so
yeah, that's fair.
I like to imagine that Sofiane did not tell any of us about this plan. He just pulled down his trousers and started doing it.
Yeah, it's like watching a mozzarella stick, like just going whoop.
Oh no.
All right. I will call this. I will say this is going to be a DC 18, and if you fail, you are going to be walking as though you have some type of lower back injury or something else going on. You can do with that what you will, but people will be able to obviously notice.
You're gonna give yourself a hernia.
So, Constitution saving throw, please, Sofiane.
All right, let's do this.
What a way for a hero to die.
The first thing I'm imagining is, you know that little thing that you sharpen knives on? I'm imagining like a shorter version of that in a sheath. But then I'm also imagining, you know that moment in the animated Mulan where he's like, and march, and she's like washing with her knees in, and that's what I'm imagining.
Oh God, it's not enough.
No.
I can't. I'm like,
yeah. So no, it is hidden from plain sight. If there were a digital inspection, for lack of a better term, it would be obvious. But
sit down.
Most notably, you are walking very strangely, and yeah, as Seraia put out, it'd be awkward for you to sit down. So
yeah, I'm like,
keep that in mind.
Oh
My gosh.
All right, so
this is the second time this has happened this week in a game.
Let's well, that's good to know. Let's go ahead and jump in with the session proper. Morgan, pushing open this hidden stone door into the main hallway of the basement here at Adrix Fall, you come face to face with this tall, burly, hairy, long beard, animal hide wearing captain of the Vic Mordier mercenaries, Eric Splitaxe. His eyes focus intently on you. First you see surprise on his face, which surprise almost surely registers on yours as well, at least for a moment before you can hide it. But then his face becomes stern once more, and he peers at you, and he says, what are you up to?
Taking some prisoners in. What does it look like I'm up to?
Oh. I heard you had a sharp tongue on you. You're that little bunny that got brought here with the drow, aren't you?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to call me a bunny.
What would you prefer I call you?
Just call me Morgan.
Okay, bunny. So, these prisoners, you found them in the passageway, which you're guarding. Yes?
Yes. I overheard them saying that the drow were looking for them in Rebalka, so I thought Mena would want to see them. So I captured them to her.
Yeah. I think Mena would want to see them. Tell you what, since you're on duty and I'm free, I can take care of them, and you can resume your post to make sure that no other untoward visitors come by.
No. And possibly get a reward for Mena? No. I'll deliver them myself.
I'm gonna raise my shackled hand like, hello, I got a question. Prisoner number 101.
He glances at you, but he seems to ignore you.
Oh, you bitch. Is this a keep what you kill type of society? Because I could throw down with you and rule your land. Calling people bunny. Such
Well,
an
if
ass.
you are bringing them to Mena, am I to watch the passage?
Oh, this bitch ignored
You can
me.
do what you want. This situation does not involve you.
Huh.
So whatever you are about to go do, feel free to continue on.
It's a pity you're not Vic Mordeer. I could have fun with you.
Could try.
Very well. On your way.
Wait, what?
I'll watch the
Come on.
door.
I'm just like yanking him, like trying to get away.
Can I try to headbutt this guy in the dick as we pass by?
You can.
Excellent. This is
Are you tall enough?
for a dick. I hope so.
Yo, I hope we're all tall for a dick.
What is this? Oh god. Okay.
Let's see.
Uh, 18. What's his AC in that?
I will give you advantage because he's certainly not expecting it.
Oh yeah. Come on. Come on. That was worse.
Okay, it's okay because an 18 does hit. I just want to see if you're gonna roll a crit.
Great.
Also, unarmed strike damage.
Oh yeah. I think it's just one, right? Or
One plus your strength mod, unless you have something else that says otherwise.
No. So 4 damage. It's a headbutt, like Squirtle.
All right. Give me a second here. Where is? All right, so walking by, getting pulled along with Seraia on the side, you walk past close enough to smell his unbathed stench pervading your nostrils. And on a surge, you slam your head forward, cracking directly with his crotch. He doubles over, almost knocking you over, and Seraia almost tumbling off before you catch your footing. He stands up, towering over you, and you look back up at him defiantly, a little bit of a detectable smirk on your face. And then wham! Wham! He comes around with 2 fists, an 18 and a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Alright, so that is going to be a total of 8 bludgeoning damage. As your head gets rocked by these massive blows.
You punched like my mom.
Seraia tries to hide, but she's smiling.
That brings up a good point. I need you to roll me a d10 because Seraia's not awake yet.
Oh, alright, that's fair. That is a 2.
Okay, so you're going to wake up in 2 minutes.
Okay.
That's right. Sleeps through getting jostled around like that. Wow.
And punched.
So as you regain your balance, he kind of shoves you and spits on the ground near your feet, Sofiane, and looks at you glaring. He seems to be studying your face. So, standing by the doorway, he seems to be looking down the dark passage and back at you two, and he kind of leans up against the stone wall, watching you all depart down the hallway. Morgan, you're leading this band of individuals. Where are you going?
Home?
To the ballroom, right? Well, actually, I just want to get around the corner from Eric.
Okay. So the hallway stretches out on either side. If you want to get around the corner, if you're going to go the same path you went, that is a straight shot to the stairway.
Yeah, that's how I want to go.
Okay, so you're going to go all the way down the stairway and then come up in the room near the kitchens?
Yeah.
All right, give me 1 second here because Andre is doing something I didn't intend. But you are you are undetected walking the rest of that path up into the kitchen, climbing up the stairway, and then in that room that has 2 doors on either side, plus the door headed outside. You know the door that you went off to the right is the one where those individuals were during your previous excursion with Lorelai. The door directly in front of you leads into the kitchens with all the massive stoves and ovens, and then obviously the door outside. So you're on the first floor now. There's nobody around. I need you, first of all, roll me a random d20, and then tell me what you want to do from here.
Nine.
Oops. Okay. So yeah, there's nobody around. You don't hear anything, not even the sound of the individuals next door who were gambling and things prior. I want to say you all did long rest after that excursion, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it has been 8 hours. So it's coming up to the end of your shift, and your shift was noon to midnight, so it's probably late in the evening. The moon's getting close to the rise. You know, the majority of the night, the drow are up and about, and the majority of the Vicmordir are sleeping. So what exactly is it that you want to be doing here?
Well, I want to get them to the ballroom.
All right. So let's see. You can go down the same path as before, that's fine. I'm gonna need one more d20 from you for the workshop area, and then we'll go from there.
5.
All right, you're rolling good. That's a good thing. Walking down the hallway, that door at the end of the hallway is locked, as it was before. You don't hear any sounds coming from the workshop rooms on either side. Now what?
Now I need to unlock this door.
If you want to go through
What are my options if I don't go through it?
Well, this is the only direct path into the ballroom that you're aware of. You could go through the kitchens and through the main entranceway, but all the doors to the ballroom are locked. They're keeping them locked and leaving the prisoners unguarded because they know A, they're surrounded in the fortress, and B, if the doors are locked, they can't get out. So every door coming into the ballroom will be locked. That you do know. If you want to try an alternate passageway just to approach it from a different angle, see if maybe somebody left the door unlocked, that's fine. But you also run increase of chance of running into a random person, a random drow or Vicmordir walking in the halls and things like that. So it's really up to you.
How is it locked? There's like a lock in the door, or is there like a big crossbar on the other side of the door? Like, how's it locked?
No, there's an actual lock in the door, an iron lock. But it operates a bar going into the door frame. Otherwise, the doors are just push open.
I want to unlock this door, but I don't have anything to unlock this door. Do y'all have anything that can unlock a door? Y'all have anything? These tools? Nothing?
I have a butt dagger. That is it.
Not really, no. I don't have much. I mean, all of my stuff is, not here.
Do I know where the keys are? Or do I know someone who's got a set of keys?
It's a good question. This is going to be a random d20. Let's find out.
Another 5.
Okay. You would know that the Vicmordir do not have the keys. The drow have the keys. It's reasonable to assume that the lower status drow, the ones that are acting as scouts and warriors, things of that nature, going out into the field, aren't the ones who have it, just because you know how stratified their hierarchy seems to be, at least within this group. So it's probably one of the captains, or maybe somewhere all the way up to Mena herself or Thizasta.
Oh, I was really hoping that we wouldn't have to get them involved. Y'all have any ideas?
Oh my god, I'm gonna slap Soraya's
This kid.
the fuck up.
Okay, you wake up, Seraia.
Is the
What
lock
was that?
metal?
The housing for it is, as far as the bar itself, it's safe to say the housing and the mechanism are. The bar itself, probably metal. Hold on, please. Y'all
I
talk.
can't.
Can someone please explain to me what is going on?
We're prisoners.
Why are we
have our
shackled?
stuff.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast heat metal and try to melt the lock.
Okay.
Also, no one tells Seraia. Let's just keep at it.
Okay. So let's see. Heat metal is a level 2 spell. So the function of the spell isn't traditionally to actually cause damage to the metal, right? Now, given how you're trying
It's just
to
to
use
heat
it, it's just to heat it up and then cause damage or make it too hot to handle, right? Which are two very different things. I would say that if you want to try and get to the point of heating it to the point where it melts, I'll let you try and do that, but there's going to be a higher cost involved.
Could I do heating it to the point where we could, like, use one of the swords or something to try to weaken it?
I have a question. I do not have lock-picking utensils, but I do have tinker's tools. Could I try to just completely take the lock apart?
You could. There'd be a pretty decent time investment involved.
Are we on a strict timeline? I don't know what we're trying to do.
I don't know. I have to get back by tonight, so I don't know what everyone else.
I'm gonna try
Sorry.
heat metalling, but instead of like trying to melt it, I'm just gonna try to get it to be warm enough where there could possibly be a weak point in some of the smaller pieces of the lock that we could try to break it there.
Okay, so before you go casting spells and stuff, I would say that it's possible to do that. Okay, you know, it would require. I basically tell you that if you casting heat metal once to do the same thing. If you're going to cast it twice, you'll make it more malleable and weak. If you cast it 3 times, you can get to the point where you're essentially melting it. I don't know if you want to use all that spell power or not.
Yeah. Does anyone else have ideas? I could try to weaken it, but it would take a lot for me to get it to that point.
I could just try to dismantle it, but I've never done something like that before.
I don't know that we have that much time.
Yeah, and if we get caught, then the game's up.
What's
I could go
what are we
to
doing?
Maina, but I don't know what she's gonna,
What's this door made out of?
It's like it's kind of like oak, except it has an ashy appearance.
Mahogany.
Okay. Sure.
I'm gonna drop the butterfly, which is the name of the knife I have up my butt.
What is happening?
No one tells Seraia. And I'm just gonna try to get a hole through the wood to the other side.
So you're gonna try and like carving out a section with a dagger?
It's like a really quick like.
Okay. We will do this we can do that in 10-minute increments.
Sounds good.
All right, so go ahead and give me an attack roll first off. And then a damage roll.
I'm a spider, else I would.
A knife?
It's a Seraia. Welcome to Tuesdays.
Oh no.
Okay.
Just okay.
22 attack roll.
Also, Seraia probably wouldn't have Tinker's tools on her right now.
Where are my tinker's tools? Where is my crossbow? Where is all of my things?
Keep your voice down. We're trying to get into this room.
We're doing shit, Seraia. You took a dirt nap. Now you deal with the consequences.
We'll explain it to you once we get inside.
Breaking into the orphanage.
Can we say if this is 10 minutes of Sofiane trying this, can Seraia get the explanation during that 10 minutes?
I'm just looking around, making sure like nobody's coming. I don't hear anything.
Okay. So you give me your perception check, Morgan. You guys can talk about whatever you want for these 10 minutes. That's fine.
Question: how closely bound are we? Like, are we bound to each other, or just bound individually?
I think by brotherhood.
Bound.
While you were sleeping, there was a blood pact.
How y'all are bound is largely up to you. Since Morgan and you all are the ones who did the binding.
I would have assumed that we would have had just like a rope, and then each of us would have had a tie wrist to part of that rope.
Okay, in that case, as soon as I am conscious, I will just try to get as far as I can and make the rope taut from everyone else.
Okay. Sofion's sitting there pegging away at this wood with this kind of dirty dagger. Where exactly are you putting this hole, Sofiane, relative to the door?
The bottom.
Okay, so you're just trying to make it like a peephole or something else?
Yeah, just a little peephole. My whole plan is once I get vision to the other side, I can create the other dimensional Sofiane and then switch places and, I don't know, run free or take a bath, whichever comes first.
Okay, cool. So obviously, since you're kind of chipping away at the bottom, it's a little bit easier for you. You make a good bit of progress here. It's going to take you a little more time, even another 10 or 20 minutes, depending on, you know, if you find any weak spots or how you roll. So you're going to do it for another 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think we got time. I think anyone else have stuff to do? Any appointments?
I guess not.
I mean, the only other thing that we could do is we could try blasting the door open, and I can catch if we see someone or know that someone's inside, I could try to cast something.
I mean, I'm a spider, but I can still hear you guys, so if you need me to do anything.
I will say if we do anything that will immediately draw attention and cause us to fight, without my weapons, I am left with only my spells, and I would rather not use my spells if I am
Technically,
tied
your
to
weapons
you.
are here.
Where?
Yeah, I've got
In Morgan's
some.
hair.
Lorelai's
I
got
missed
them, yeah.
quite a lot.
Yeah, Lorelai is a spider. Lorelai has a lot of our weapons and stuff.
Okay,
I would prefer not to have to fight here, though.
here is my question. Are these restraints, are they actually binding, or is it a trick? Are they easy to pull away?
No, try it, I guess.
I didn't tie them.
I try it.
Who tied him? I didn't tie him. NPC
didn't
didn't tie
I
him.
didn't tie him.
Ryan doesn't know how to tie for shit.
I don't remember who tied him. I don't think I did, though.
Y'all didn't say who tied them. That's why I'm
So
asking.
we're all just like looping it around our list and then just holding it.
There aren't even any ropes. Y'all are just like walking around.
It's just imaginary kindergarten loop.
There is no spoon.
Well, so Sofiane is trained in the art of Kimbaku. So he will obviously be the one to tie the ropes.
Uh-huh.
So are they actually tied, or are they like one of those knots that you can just like pull away?
No. Like, obviously it's actually tied. Come on. Like a professional.
Perhaps we could retie them so that they are easy to clear ourselves.
I don't know those knots. So
Out of all of the things you know about these kinds of things, Sofiane, that's the one thing that you don't know?
you learn to tie proper knots to lightly and with beauty tie someone up but you don't learn the knots that's required to make it look like they're tied, but with the proper exertion of force, it could become undone. The whole part of the act is, I don't want to talk. There's a kid right here, okay?
I have some experience with rope and different knots. I could try to make a fake knot.
That'll work. Chip away.
Yeah, give you another attack and damage roll, Sofiane, and Seraia, give me a intelligence check to see how good you do.
All right. That is an 8.
Okay, so you do some fancy things with the rope work, Seraia, but it essentially ends up becoming a double knot.
Yeah.
Sofiane, you make a little more headway, but this, you seem to have hit a hard knot in the wood here. Morgan, you hear coming from the room that is at the other end of the hallway, the one that y'all came up in. You hear the echoing sounds, some soft voices. They have that drow accent. They seem to be just kind of murmuring at this distance. It's hard to say what they're talking about. Hard to discern that. But they seem to be milling about in there, and you hear the small clatter of metal things moving around, maybe some pots and pans, utensils, things like that.
Do I recognize the voices or no?
The only person you've had significant interaction with is Mena, the individual that was the drow that were traveling with them. Y'all, in your previous time before you got to Atrix Folly, they were more of the scouts, and this is definitely not them. They were male.
Okay.
These are 2 female drow. Their voices are largely unrecognizable. It's a combination of how muffled it is and the distance. Probably just some relatively unimportant drow here as part of the group that you just haven't interacted with. All right, so we're going to be creeping up. If you're going to keep going, Sofiane, it's going to be a half hour total. You've been doing this. I'm going to need another d20 roll from you, Morgan, an encounter roll.
How long can Lorelai stay as a spider?
Is an hour?
2 hours.
2 hours?
Because one for each cast.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have 30 minutes until I switch back.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's 2 hours, so I have an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. Probably by now, because of the initial walk and everything, it was like a quarter mile. Unless you transformed right before you got to the door. It's up to you. If you transform back in the crypt, it'd be like an hour and 15 left, just so you know.
Okay.
Alright, so Sofiane, you're able to get to the point where you see a hole through the bottom of the door. At this time, or right before then, Morgan, you notice the sounds of one of their voices in that other room starts to get louder as they're walking towards the door. Are you doing anything?
Yeah. Shit. I'm going to, push them into, a seated position in front of the door to, cover the hole and tell them just to shut up and stand over them in case, homegirl walks past. And I can just be like, I'm waiting for someone to come unlock this door.
Okay, so you shove him down, Sofiane. You get pushed to the side real quick, and Morgan's hands on your shoulder. Everybody else gets shoved down rapidly, and Morgan whips around to face the door at the far end of the hallway. The door opens, and you see, again, what you suspected, a female drow. She has relatively paler skin and long, whitish type hair, and she's carrying what looks like an old kind of ladle in one hand, and she isn't expecting to see you. As she pushes open the door, she kind of looks left to right, and then all of a sudden registers shock on her face and kind of peers at you for a moment and slowly starts to walk forward in your direction, and then pauses by one of the workshop doors on the right hand side, looking at you for a long second before pushing her way into that door.
Okay. All good. All right, as you are, I guess. All right.
Wait, are you ashamed of us?
You're my prisoners right now. Get back to
Of course I'm ashamed of you.
It's so hurtful. God. Start chipping away again.
Wow. Okay. All right. You hear the door open back up. Morgan, you shove Sophie onto the side, reacting really quick, and she walks out, and you see her look down in your direction for another long second, and then turn and slowly walk out the hallway with the door closing very quietly behind her. Sofiane, you have bored a small hole, scrounged away a small hole in the bottom of the door here.
Hey, who is she that just walked by?
Like a cook, huh?
It's a cook?
She was carrying something with a ladle, so.
Oh, that's fair. All right.
She wasn't a priestess. I don't know who she was.
Can you hold this dagger for me? I'll be right back.
Let's just clarify real quick. Sorry, were you messing with your tinker tools in this lock before or no? Were you letting Sofiane do it or something else?
I think we decided that I don't have my tinker's tools.
Okay, fair enough.
And I will summon alternate mustache-wearing Sofiane and then switch with them.
All right. Let me pull up my stuff here because y'all are moving things around.
You're welcome.
God, I can't clear my throat here. All right, so just as a reminder, because I described it to you all last session through the eyes of Lorelai, but this large ballroom, probably 60 or 70 feet in either direction, there's 6 large pillars, and there's this small rope-like piece of fabric that's strung out throughout all 6 of these pillars in a rectangular shape. And within this cordoned off area in the center of this massive, formerly beautiful, slightly decrepit and worn down ballroom, you see dozens of these prisoners all huddled together. Some are murmuring a little bit by themselves. Most of them are pretty quiet. General sense is they look pretty weak, like many of their heads are hanging down and their shoulders are slumped. Otherwise, they don't seem harmed too much. You do recognize several individuals from Rebalka from your brief time there before everything started going crazy, but there is a good quantity of people that you don't recognize at all. Where you're standing on the other side of this door, there's a small little alcove which you're standing in, and then the ballroom opens up a little bit around a corner where you see everybody. You don't seem to be detected because your entry was essentially silent. But you can look upon them and do whatever else it is you want to do here. Oh, yeah. One other point of order. Right next to you in this alcove, there is another set of stairs going up to the 2nd story. And across the ballroom, there's 3 other sets of doors all the way across.
Looking at the ballroom and the scuffs on the ground, did people do the waltz here? Tango? East Coast swing? What type of dancing?
Okay. I see where you're going here. Are you proficient in dancing or performance?
No. I've just heard about it. I took a community college class, I think, back in the South.
That's fair. Okay, so then I will say that because of the old, worn nature of this and your relative unfamiliarity with dancing, except as a common courtesy, you can give me an intelligence check with disadvantage.
All right, let's do this. Oh, there's no active encounter? I know there's not. Oh, that's any. Okay. So ability check. Oh. I'll just... Oh. It's a 10.
A 10?
Yeah. It was a 10 and a 14.
You're not sure? It was definitely some type of a line dance. It could have either been the cha-cha slide or the electric slide. Maybe stroking, but it's hard to tell.
What was that last part?
Stroking. Never heard of stroking?
No.
Oh man, that's very that's very much a Sofiane song.
Huh.
So moving on.
Yeah, he's gonna take note as he walks there. Can he unlock the door from this side easily, or is it gonna be a whole thing?
No, it's got a latch on, not a latch. It's got a keyhole on either side.
I don't know how to help you guys. I'm gonna head towards the prisoner.
Did you think that the unlock side was on the prisoner's side?
I was just trying to get from point A to point B with my dagger. All right, it was really just the whole thing to get the dagger out because it did not go in well.
Okay, so you're gonna go over where the prisoners are?
Yeah.
Okay. You go around the corner and take a few steps forward. Your footfalls begin to echo much more loudly as you enter the more open space, and people look over in your direction, at first kind of bleary-eyed and not really registering, and then their eyes open wide and several people shoot up, and then the entire crowd rises up, surging towards the door. Who are you? Are you here to save us? What are you doing? Help us!
Fuck you, I'm not.
And then a larger man in the back shouts over all of them, quiet! You don't want them to hear us, do you?
Oh my god.
Echoing throughout the chamber.
Give me my dagger.
Everybody on the other side of the door, you hear this last part especially clearly.
God. Fucking A. This is gonna be like, oh my god. And I'll summon my mustache alternate dimension and I'll trade places to be in the prison.
Okay, so you're gonna bamf into amongst the crowd?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you disappear into the middle of the crowd and everybody stops, everything goes quiet for a moment, and then the people around you start to look in your direction and kind of like jump back for a moment, and then again, who are you? Can you save us?
Yo, shut the fuck up, man. All y'all, okay? Whatever little bit of hope you have, squash it.
And all of a sudden you hear, as one of the doors to the double doorway coming from the far side of the room opens up, and you see two drow dressed in very familiar armor, that the kind that you met up on the plateau, each wielding these wicked looking spears, head to toe in metal armor and boots, surge into the chamber. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing? Sit down and be quiet. And one of them starts walking towards the crowd and the other one starts to walk around the room looking in all the corners and checking all the doors.
Yeah, I want to just crawl up inside someone's back shirt and hide there as like a little lump.
Okay. Let's say, give me a stealth check. And also, and that's to represent if you actually can do this. And then also, you're going to have to give me a persuasion check with disadvantage to try and convince somebody to let you do this quickly while everybody's sitting down and freaked out and shouting, and this random teleporting halfling just entered the midst of them. Sure.
Just so I'm aware, how far from the outside of the door where we're at to where the drow just entered?
You have no idea.
Okay.
We can't hear it at all.
You hear them shouting, and it's echoing throughout the room, but you lost sight of Sofiane, and you have no idea what's going on in the room besides what you just heard them shouting about.
So
and are currently hearing them shout about.
If I put my eye up to the hole that Sofiane made,
all you see is a wall 20 feet ahead of you. You could probably see the beginnings of a stairwell along that same wall, but the way that where you guys are entering, I'm gonna ping it on the map for you. Yeah. But the way that you guys are entering,
from that little hallway, right?
You are here.
Yeah.
At this locked door.
I wasn't even looking at the right room.
all the prisoners are over here.
Got it.
So I got a 15 and a 15.
Okay. Let me roll. Wow, okay. So, in the scuffle, miraculously, somehow, as everybody's starting to sit down and jostle and be quiet and push each other, you do find somebody you knew from Rabalka as a child. He was a little bit older, he was a teenager, never really paid mind, but he knows you weren't here before, he knows you're here now, and he instantly takes this longer robe and kind of tucks you. It's a large, relatively wide dude, and so he just kind of opens it up and sits down. So now it looks like he has an enormous ass, but you're all now sitting down amongst the rest of them.
We're going to some strange places with this prison break episode.
I mean, you are. So the other drow goes around and starts checking every doorway, looking in all the corners, looking up the stairwell. You hear the rest of you in the hallway, you hear these metallic footsteps approaching, and then the door jostling, making sure it's solid before he continues stepping on. You hear his footsteps fade. The drow that comes over to the group, you see him walking in that direction, but then all of a sudden there's a shirt and a relatively dirty, smelly back in front of your face, Sofiane. So you hear everybody go quiet, and you hear him slowly walking from left to right around the group, kind of circling it. Every now and then you hear the shuffle of somebody as they're kind of getting picked up, and then you hear it as they get kind of tossed back down, not very softly.
Oh, God.
The guy, you hear the same voice, the one that called out loudly, telling everybody to be quiet. He's several people away, not more than a few feet, especially in the quiet, but you can hear him whispering something. Give me a perception check to see if you can make out what he's saying.
Oh, fuckles.
You don't hear much. You do hear, "Give him up," in a line with a string of words.
He's a snitch, that little bitch.
I need to make a roll here. 1 second. God. Sofiane, you're feeling very lucky as this the drow continues to walk around, picking someone up, questioning a couple of them harshly. They're all pleading ignorance as he begins to walk back away. You hear him summon over the guard that was checking all the doors, and then they walk back out to the ballroom doors. You hear them slam shut, and hear the of a metal lock echo throughout the chamber, and everything goes quiet again.
Can I get out from under your ass now?
He pushes back a little bit and starts to lift up the shirt.
Ah, good. It's good to be here. Go sit down.
What are you doing? Why are you here?
Well, the village promised me untold treasures, specifically a man's house, in order to save some of you.
Some of us. And the
Yes.
people around you are listening intently, and you hear them, some of us. He's only taking some of us? What's he taking? Please take me.
But once you don't snitch.
With that, they all kind of be quiet and look at each other, eyeballing intently. So what is your plan? How are we going to get out of here?
There was a plan, going in and out. It's kind of more loose. I can't tell you because we don't know if anyone's, on their side within this little box of people that we have here.
On their side, you think one of us is a traitor?
Yeah. I think one of y'all is Squealer.
And with that, everybody starts looking around each other suspiciously, and some of them kind of shift away from each other.
Yes, let that paranoia feed you. That's what's going to keep us alive.
But how are we going to know if they're a traitor?
I'll know. I can see a Squealer by the look of their eyes.
Okay, but then what? When are we leaving?
We will leave within 2 days.
2 days?
Y'all ask too many questions.
2 days?
Yes. God, I just got here. Let me settle.
What can I do? What can we do?
So there's other prisoners we need to get in here. But they're behind that locked door over there. Do you guys know how that usually opens? Does anyone have a lockpick, or is a person who is experienced with lock picking who might be able to show me? I don't know. We kind of hit a snag with the locked door part.
Why don't we all just get up and barge down the door and run for it? They can't capture all of us if you're only saving some of us anyway.
That's a good point. And obviously only the strong will survive, which is, I think, good for just everyone.
You see some of the older individuals and the weaker ones, they look at you.
Oh, I'm looking away. I don't want
their
that.
eyebrows go up.
I'm like looking away. I don't want that. Those baby eyes. No. It'll break my heart. Oh god.
Should we try to weaken this door? He seems to not be necessarily doing much in there.
How long has it been since I changed? Has it been like at this point after all the conversation and everything?
I would say it's been...
It's been...
You have about an hour left.
An hour? Alright, I'm going to... Fuck.
Well, don't do that. Now is not the time.
Especially as a
At least get
fighter.
off of me.
Oh, you know what?
My
Gotta get some silvery grays up in there, Morgan.
I'm going
Can I?
I'm gonna climb off of Morgan and I'm going to change back.
Oh,
And
gonna
I'm
say,
going
can I-
to say, you guys are taking forever. What's happening?
Can I have my Tinker's tools?
Yes, take them, and I'll hand them to him. And I'm gonna say, you said you could heat the metal, right? Why haven't you heated the metal and used like a dagger to pry it open?
because heating the metal, it would take all of my
Not if you
spell
work together,
capability.
right? What if
No, listen. It would take all of my skills, my magical capabilities to heat it to the point where we could get it to snap. It wouldn't be worth it.
even if we took a dagger and like worked it into the wood at the same time as you heated it, we're not trying to like could that work?
I have an idea.
Okay.
If my Tinker's tools do not work, which I hope they will, but if they do not, I have a spell that could potentially destroy the door. It's not a sure thing. I can't.
The other
I can't
option
be
before
sure.
you turned out of the spider was to send you into the workshop to see if you could find anything that we could go in and go get.
I mean, why couldn't you guys go into the workshop? There's no one in this hallway, right?
But that doesn't mean that there's not people in the workshop.
Morgan, are there people in these workshops? Would they not have heard us talking?
There's been a lady walking back and forth in this hallway.
Just that one,
people
right,
around?
though? There's not anyone in the workshops, right? You haven't seen anyone or
don't know.
heard anyone? And they haven't come
been
out
looking
whenever
in
you
the
were
workshops.
hitting the door?
Do you all know the layout of this place?
I do.
Well, yeah, we walked through here earlier and
I
there's
drew a
these...
map.
I feel like there are so many
I
options
thought y'all
here.
had some skills about y'all. Obviously, I was wrong.
I'm going to try to use my Tinker's tools to take apart the locking mechanism of the door.
Well, granted, I feel like it's not a lack of our skill, but our too much exposed hope in Sofiane to do something. I think that was a little bit too much of a given. We should have just continued on without him. I don't know why we put so much faith into the idea that he was going to be able to do something productive.
I mean, I can't stay a spider forever, and I felt like we weren't getting anything done, and I didn't want to randomly change back in like a really awkward position, you know? So I mean, I can change into one again, but I don't know if you needed like any help with anything. I don't know. We could try to do the heat metal for the door, or I could change into something like a spider again and go check the workshop, see if maybe there's like a long stick or something, like a piece of metal we could put into the door. I don't know how to pick a door.
I think
Let me
we've
try
already been
this
here
first.
too long. I feel
I'm
like
gonna-
at this point.
I'm going to try to open the door.
Okay, so you're proficient with your Tinker's tools, yes?
Yes.
Okay, what were you going to say, Lorelai?
I'm gonna ask the group if I should change into a spider just in case someone else comes down the hall. Like, do you guys need my help right now, or do you?
Can I take some of my stuff back from you? I
Yeah,
don't
you can.
really know that part of the plan.
Okay, well, we gave you guys. They gave me your stuff because we're supposed to be prisoners, and we didn't know if you were gonna get strip searched.
But I think we're past that now, yes?
hopefully.
yet.
If you can get this door open, if you can't, then I have to turn y'all in as prisoners for real.
Let's find out. So let's wait. Okay, I'm gonna try.
Okay. So, Tinker's Tools, intelligence check with proficiency because you're proficient with Tinker's Tools.
Okay. Here goes nothing.
What was that? Was that a yes for the spider or a no for the spider? Or a wait for the spider?
It was a wait.
Just hide
It was a
behind
wait.
Morgan.
Okay.
I'm gonna use Tides of Chaos to give myself advantage.
Okay.
17.
Okay. So, you begin taking apart some of the hardware that seems to be holding this faceplate of the lock onto this side of the door. The plate comes off, exposing the mechanism within. You're able to get this far. Dealing with the mechanism and manipulating it with these tools that aren't exactly made for it will probably be harder than taking the plate off. So you'd have to check again. That only took you a few minutes. It took you about 5 minutes to do that.
I have exposed part of it, if that helps.
Do we want to try like with a dagger? Like doing just like try to like open? Like could that work?
Keep trying.
Do
with
I get the
Tinker's
sense
Tools.
with what I just did that it changed any aspect of like how locked the door is? Like, have I made it any more vulnerable?
Well, one of the biggest issues with trying to use your Tinker Tools as a lockpick would be that the faceplate presents such a small opening, your Tinker Tools wouldn't be effective. Either they're small but too weak, or strong enough but too big. Now that you've taken the faceplate off, you might be able to essentially pick the lock with the mechanism being exposed, but figuring out how to do that with Tinker Tools no experience is going to be a challenge.
Okay. Well, I can try to pick this lock, but I think I got fairly lucky this first time, and this is not what these tools are designed for, but I will give it a go if we have no other options.
I mean, I don't think it would be smart for us to blast the door open right now after that commotion that just went on in there. They're probably listening at those doors, right?
Try again with the tools. At least
Okay.
one more time.
Try again, and if it doesn't work, I'll turn into a spider and I'll go on the other side.
All right, I try again.
All right, same thing as before, same check as before. While they're doing this, Sofiane, is there anything else you're saying or doing?
Can I give you a bardic inspiration? Oh, never mind.
15.
Okay, no, I'm fine with you giving him
Getting
Bardic Inspiration.
I will use a bardic inspiration, absolutely.
Giving
Yes, then I will give you.
her Bardic Inspiration.
I will give Seraia bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Is that a d6?
That is a d6.
All right, so 15 plus 3, so 18.
Okay.
Helpful.
During the process of attempting to unlock this door, one of your tools does get bent in a way that's more disturbing and ugly than anything. It doesn't reduce its effectiveness, but now it's kind of like a fork that has that weird curve in it because it got bent too hard.
Oh, no.
However, after experimenting, you are able to manipulate the lock open, and it becomes unlatched.
I think I
Did you get it? Did you get
I
it?
think I pushed the door open.
Oh
You-
my gosh, Seraia.
Are
Put a
you
little weight-
serious?
Put a little weight behind it, and it does swing slightly. Pause there, Sofiane. Were you doing anything while they were doing this?
Just gonna start like picking out the most able-bodied fighters, and I'm trying to encourage and form cliques within the prison guards, as well as gain some information about what's up the stairs, how many times they get checked out, what's to eat, stuff like that. Does anyone have any stuff they brought along with them?
Is anybody single? You know.
Ready to mingle.
Yeah, like if there's any attractive people, they're definitely in the Sofiane clique. The old and the weird looking are over there in the corner. But yeah.
Okay, so give me your persuasion check to get information, because people are freaked out and they don't know if you're actually with them or against them, except for basically the one person who knows you.
Who's that guy's name? He's my new best friend.
I will let you give him a name, because I didn't
His
have a name
name-
prepared.
He's Timmels.
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 Okay, so Timmel's willing to talk to you, but let's see how much he knows when everybody else tells you.
Oh hell nah. 5.
Okay. give me an insight check to try and gauge the people in this crowd.
Oh God. 18.
Okay. So, go ahead and ask your questions, and we'll get to the insight check.
All right. What's upstairs?
We don't know. We haven't been anywhere but this ballroom. They brought us in the courtyard and inspected us. They took the weak and the frail ones away and took all of whatever meager possessions we still had, and then brought us in here, and that is it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How many times do they come in and do a search over and feed you?
We get fed once a day. It's little more than flavored water and a bit of rice or bread. It's hard to tell the passage of time in here. It would be every hour or two. It depends. Everything kind of blends together.
And okay, so I'm here for the Balkans. Who are these other people?
They've come from all over the region. The Darkwood, the plains outside the Spears of Arnotes, Rabalka itself, the outlying farms. They're all from this area.
Has anyone been taken since you guys got here?
No, they weeded out the weak and the frail ones since when we got here.
Well, how about that old
they've been left
person?
alone.
Seems pretty weak and frail. Why are they still here? I'm like pointing at the older people.
You see him shy away from your finger and just kind of look off to the side. And they took the ones that were weaker and frailer. Apparently they're acceptable for whatever their purpose is.
All right. Well, my assault team that I have led into this place are behind that door. All right. When we move, we're going to need to move quickly. Grab the ones that are most important. Not everyone will survive. That's just the sad fact of this existence. Some of them will be tortured, probably brought back, and such. But I'm gonna watch out for you, Timmels. You've always been good to me.
I'm not sure what kind of impression I made for you. I hate to say that I don't remember much about you, but yeah. I'm glad to know you now, if that helps any.
I mean, good enough that I let you sit on me, so we're that type of friend.
I will sit on you any day. Looking past him, first off, with your insight check, looking around, gauging everybody, you see there's about 50 people, and about 10 are of much advanced age. They've seen many winters. There aren't any women or children. Looking past him, exchanging this conversation with him real quick, you see that same larger individual that stood up and shouted before. He's kind of looking over at you, but then his eyes will flicker left and right. He's looking at the doors. His neck seems almost strained, as though he's very tense. Now, everybody around you is tense, right? Everybody is on edge, but he doesn't seem as though he's about to pounce and run out of danger. It feels as though he's looking to pounce toward help.
I'm gonna go up. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
We're gonna cut back over. Seraia, you have unlocked the door. You push it. It swings slightly. What are y'all doing?
Okay. Shit. Okay, so should we go in? Morgan, do you need to stay out here in the hallway?
Yeah, I'm not going in. Y'all need to go in. Like, I'm pushing them in.
Okay, we'll go in slowly, and I'll say, Sofiane, we got the door open.
As y'all walk around the corner, everybody kind of starts to stand up a little bit, and then the other half of them take them and jam them back down as you're whispering to Sofiane. You see Sofiane waving you over towards the crowd as you quietly sneak in. I need all of you to give me a stealth check.
I need the blood dagger.
Click. There we go. And then
12.
16.
that is a whatever that was. 9.
Okay. Morgan.
Oh, I didn't realize you.
Seven. Okay. So you slowly walk across the ballroom to the group, hushing them as you go, and you get to the crowd and kind of worm your way in around this group of weakened.
Who, me?
All of you.
I'm not going in.
If you're not going in, okay, so you're staying out, all three of you. All right, I'll disregard your stealth check. I misunderstood what you were doing. That's my fault.
You know, I'm pushing them in. I'm not going in there.
Okay, so the other three of you go inside and do this and make your way to the crowd towards Sofiane.
I'm going
Don't
to.
be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
I'm going to grab one of my daggers from Lorelai.
Yeah, I'll start passing out the weapons again.
Yeah, I'm gonna undo the ropes around me, and I'm just gonna collect all of my things and take all of my stuff back from Lorelai.
Okay, so
I would say, are any of you fighters?
we don't have long.
Yeah, we've been through this, and that guy, right? Hold on, never mind. I shouldn't say it out loud. Where are the women and the children, Timmels?
We haven't seen any. They didn't take any with them. It's always just been men.
Oh, just been the men?
Yes.
Word?
Sexist.
I know, right? Like,
Suspicious.
look at this. No, I can't. Lorelai is still a spider, right?
No, I'm myself.
Look at this woman. I'd want to sacrifice her if I give him the opportunity.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're looking at Lorelai. They're looking very suspiciously and nervously at Lorelai.
Oh yeah, cause okay, I get it. Yeah, okay. All right. Can I have my stuff?
Yeah, here you go. I'll pass it out.
He'll get his dagger.
We don't have much time. Morgan's waiting on the other side of the door. I think should we just go back through the door?
Is that the safest way?
I mean, it's the back way, I would assume, unless we go through. What we heard the guards come in here, right? What door did they come through?
That one. Also,
Okay.
I think they're coming back pretty soon.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get up to that big guy, and I'm gonna put my dagger right in between his legs. Like, you better start squealing, buddy.
Okay.
And it better not be loud.
His eyes widen, his eyebrows go up, and he shakes his head nervously for a bit. Cutting back over to Morgan real quick. Morgan, they all went out. The door is kind of slightly ajar, the faceplate's on the ground, and you hear muffled whispers a bit from inside as you hold your position by this door and wait. From down the hallway, the other door that you all came in, you hear kind of echoing, "Have you seen anybody?" And you hear muffled talking on the other side of the door, and then you hear metallic footsteps walking towards that door at the end of the hallway.
Can I lock the door and put the faceplate back on? Like, it might not have to be like all the way attached, but just so that like someone just walking by the door wouldn't be like, "Oh, this door was jimmied the fuck open."
You can try. I will say that you know, Morgan, that you have mere seconds, so you can try and slap it on and hope it sticks.
Yeah.
But as far as like screwing the hardware back in or whatever, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to do what I can and hope for the best.
Okay, well, you can very easily and quickly grab it and kind of slap it on. Whether it stays there is going to be completely up to chance. And we're going to call this, because of gravity, we'll call this a 13. Roll d20. If you roll over a 13, it stays.
Are things going well? I feel like they're going well.
Why would you say that, man?
So you bring the door shut real quick and then slap it on. It holds for a second, then ching ching falls on the ground behind you. And quickly, you put your foot in front of it and turn back towards the door as the door opens, and this heavily armored drow figure, which you know to be kind of the upper echelon of those scouts and warriors that roam the countryside because of his long conical type helmet and the silvery hair coming down the side, this wicked looking spear type glaive on it, walking in front of him, opens the door and faces you. "What is your business here?"
I was just gonna go gamble with my buddies in that room over there.
Gambling with your buddies.
Yeah, I'm off shift. What else am I supposed to do?
Rest so you can do your job.
I'll rest when I'm dead. I'd rather make some money.
Give me a deception check.
Eight.
But you may be resting sooner than you think. And with that, he charges towards you with the glaive out. And that's where we're going to take a break. So,
Wait, did things not work out?
Maybe, we'll see. We will be back 5-10 minutes, everybody. Hope you're having a good time tonight, and we'll see you then. Stretch, bio break, snacks, friends, all that good stuff. We'll be back in a minute. All right. So, we're back. All right. Morgan. Apparently, this guard is either really on edge or did not believe you. He is running at you very menacingly with his glaive stretched out. I need everybody to roll for initiative.
Here goes nothing.
I did it, Daddy.
Wow, I'm magic. Literally.
All right. So we're going to start with him, because he beat you, Morgan. All right. So. You see him start charging towards you down the hallway, his metal footsteps ringing out, "Intruders!" running at you, and he lashes out with his... Functionally, it's a longsword. It looks like a glaive. That is a 15 to hit.
Yes, that hit.
For 7 slashing damage. All right. That's the end of his turn. You're up. What are you going to do?
Well, I was gonna open the door and like let his momentum carry him into the room with the prisoners.
Okay, he charged towards you. He kind of planted his feet and slashed out at you. You can grab him and pull him into the room if you want, or you can back into the room and like coax him in there.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll grab him and try to drag him.
All right, so that's going to be a grapple. Give me an athletics check, please.
11.
And he is going to attempt to dodge it. Acrobatics check. He darts to the left, but you got to hold on his the gauntlet on his arm and jerk him in. So you can either like push him in there, or you can back up and pull him in there. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll back up and pull him in.
Okay, go ahead and move. It's difficult, so half movement. And I'll move him wherever you want. The door was open.
It's not letting me go through though.
Oh, okay. I probably just need to fix the wall then.